Yo, 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 what is going on, everyone? Just give me one moment, just getting everything set up back here. Behind the scenes issues. All right, we are ready to go. How the heck are we doing today, y'all? Hold on, let me move this. Actually, is this where I wanted it to be? Yeah, I think it was, actually. I need to move over here. It's my fault. I'm throwing the feng shui off. You can't see that over there. That's a terrible spot for the chat. Probably got What's going on? Doing great. It is June 8th, 2025. Hope everyone is doing well. It is time for some Shonen Sunday. Good morning, Mai. Good morning, Kogan. You know, after JJK's end, the typing curse still follows you. The one bad thing about the typing curse is once you're cursed, it never ends. It doesn't matter what happens. What's up? I hope everyone's having a good Sunday, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night for you, whatever time zone you're in. I'm sending you that spirit bomb energy. I'm wishing you the best in all of your goals. I hope you are killing it in life, and if you don't think anybody is in your corner, just know that I am in your corner, and I'm excited to see what Kagurabachi and Sakamoto days got in store for us, and I can even see already by the chapter name, Enton vs. Toby Mune is kind of fucking crazy. And then we have Tunnel, so I don't know what the hell that's about, but both chapters are fire. All right, good. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I just realized it was double playing. I apologize for that. The music might have been double playing. If that was loud, I'm sorry. As always, the stream is sponsored by GamerSups, as per usual. Thank you, GamerSups, for sponsoring the stream. They are the best. I'm drinking some literally right now, baby. GamerSups.gg/noop for 10% off your order, or you can get some free samples. Still use my code anyway. Shin got bullshitted out of some death. Well, yikes. I'm excited to see how I knew he was going to have to get out of this situation somehow. Both chapters are good. So I guess we should, as per usual, start the stream without a doubt with what should we read first? What do read first? Good poll, as always. Everyone, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Helps the stream way more than you know. And while we're waiting for the poll to go through, while we're waiting for people to pop in, as we wait to start the stream since I started so late, one thing that I want to say is, what the heck is going on with you guys? What are you guys up to? Anything new going on in your guys' lives that you need me to know about? For For me, I have been reading Gaki Akuda. Gaki Akuda, if you have not been reading it, but you've been hearing about it and people talking about it and recommending it, I've got to tell you, it is definitely going strong. I'm about 50-something chapters in, I think. I'd have to check and see. I think I'm around 50 or so chapters into Gaki Akuda, and I'm loving it so far. I'm locked in completely and wholeheartedly. Yeah, 54. I'm on chapter 54. I actually still have the tab open on my phone. The anime is coming out in July, so if you do want to wait a month to get a good vibe with the animation and everything like that, because I've heard the anime looks great. Let's actually, while we're waiting, I haven't seen the trailer for Gaki Akuda, so we can get a live react right here, right now. Let me see. While we're waiting for the poll to go through, I haven't seen the anime trailer yet. Just so I can share the peak. Starts July 6th. Okay. Let me get it into theater mode. And volume up. Let me turn this music off. And audio, sound audio on. All right. I have not seen this, so this is new to me. I have not seen this trailer. The information probably isn't. I mean, I'm sure I'm by far past where the first season of the anime is gonna go. But let's take a look at this. For anyone who hasn't read Gaki Akuda, I'm telling you, I've been loving the manga so far. Where they announced the studio who's doing it. Or did they not even reveal itself? Gaki Akuda's coming Crunchyroll this Rudo Bone Studio. Oh, then it's gonna be fire then. If Bone Studio A is doing it, then it's gonna be absolutely great. Damn, this in a month. I have to look into what other animes are coming soon. So summer is gonna be really good. Summer has a really good lineup coming. You've got this. This is dropping. You have Dandadan Core 2, Sakamoto Days Core 2. Kaiju number 8 season 2 is coming out, which like I said, I will always preach the gospel of Kaiju number 8. I love Kaiju number 8. I think it's an amazing series. I know some people don't really vibe with it, but I honestly, I fucking love it. So I have been enjoying Kaiju number 8. I'm excited to see that come back for season 2. This is so much better than Fire Force. The author for Gaki Akuda was the assistant for Fire Force. Oh, well, you can tell. You know what? It's so funny because they do look similar. You can see where his vibe definitely stemmed off of the author of Soul Eater and Fire Force. You can definitely see it. I saw the Dandadan Evil Eye movie yesterday, and those fights are fire. I believe it, man. Science Saru kills it. I am fucking pumped. Kaiju number 8's ending in 2 chapters. What? I did not see that. I didn't. The new chapter must have came out and announced that it's ending in 2 chapters. That's crazy, dog. I want to do a video on Kaiju number 8's final arc, because obviously ending in 2 chapters, it could fumble, any day. Any author can. But to be completely honest with you, if Kaiju number 8 ends after, which it was pretty obvious that this was the final battle, I just didn't expect it to be over in 2 chapters. If they pull off this final battle perfectly, this might be like a solid 8, 9 out of 10 for me, dude. Kaiju number 8 would have been perfect through and through. Give me more of these series that know when to just stop. Give me more of these series that just stop at 120, 130 chapters. Kaiju number 8, if that is the case, is amazing. Hell's Paradise ended around 130 chapters, and that story is like perfect, tight-knit greatness. Like, If you like Call of the Night season 2 is coming out. Never anything crazy, groundbreaking, just good action. Yes. What does it for me in Kaiju number 8 is the characters. I've just come to really, really love Kafka, Kikaru, especially fucking Hoshina, Gen Narumi, everything like that. Even if kind of number 8 didn't end well, would you still love it? Oh, 100%. It's all about the journey sometimes. It's all about the journey. As someone that has Longclaw, Jon Snow's sword tattooed on them from Game of Thrones, it's all about the journey. You know what? Honestly, sometimes some stories just don't end the greatest, and that's as someone that is now 28 years young, I'm telling you, like, it's a fact of life sometimes. Sometimes you just got to enjoy the journey, and sometimes your favorite series may not end the greatest. As someone that has seen it happen time and time and time and time and time again, especially with anime and manga, it's just, unfortunately, it's a fact of life. You get what you get sometimes. It is what it is. But Gaki Akuda, I can't recommend it enough. I'm hoping to finish it by Friday. This Friday coming up, and then I can do a live stream just doing a character tier list and going over it, because I think there's about 130 something chapters. 130, 140 chapters so far of Gaki Akuda, so I want to finish it up before the anime comes out, so that way we can drop some big time content, because it really is that good. I think when this anime comes out, it's gonna have it is going to 110% become it's gonna be a big hit. It's gonna get big numbers once the anime comes out, especially if Bones is doing it. I need to read Dr. Stone one day, man. I really do need to read Dr. Stone one day. So yeah, that summer's kind of packed. We're kind of getting into the weeds here. What the fuck is this? The second season of what? My Life as a Vending Machine? Is that actually what this is? Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon. What the fuck are some of these isekai anime even turning to at this point, bro? The second season, it was good enough to get a second season, which is honestly what's more perplexing to me than the fact that there was an anime about a vending machine. They'll make an anime about anything at this point. People have told me that this is good. Toilet Bound Hanako, people have told me that this is actually good. I need No Game No Life season 2. I don't think the rest of the world needs No Game No Life season 2 though. I think that's the issue. I don't think the rest of the world knows if they can handle No Game No Life. No Game No Life season 1 was a trip and a half. I watched that with I didn't watch that myself. I watched that with your boy Roshi reactions, because sometimes like I can watch cringe as long as cringe is like, you know, like through a lens. If you like No Game No Life, I'm not coming at you. That's fine. It's just not my thing. It's a little too anime for me. If you catch my drift, it's a little too much. It's the same reason I'm not a fan of like Mushoku Tensei. Like, again, if you like Mushoku Tensei, no hate to you. I don't think that says anything about you. I don't think that you're wrong to like, you know, that. But yeah, just not my cup of tea. Sometimes there's just things that I'm not willing to look past. To give you an idea, like Heavenly Delusion is an anime that I absolutely fucking loved. And I love the first season of the anime, which, by the way, watch the first season of Heavenly Delusion. It is genuinely a really, really good show. However, is it Heavenly Delusion that I'm saying? Heavenly Delusion. Yes. Really, really good series. Loved the first season of the anime, right? I went to go read the manga because I love the anime that much. And I was reading on Reddit, and they were like, oh, you know, Heavenly Delusion, you should reread from the beginning of the manga, because there's a lot of extra context, a lot of extra lore, and a lot of extra pieces that they kind of skip past for better pacing. It doesn't completely ruin the story, but you know, if you enjoyed it and you want more of it, you should check it out. So I said, bet. All right, I'll start from chapter 1 and reread it, because I love this series that much. Now, not it's not a spoiler or anything like that, so I can completely tell you everything that's going on. And again, in the context of the show, this completely makes sense. Heavenly Illusion's never getting a season 2 because the anime wasn't financially successful. Completely agreed. And the worst part is about that is it's not the anime's fault. It is Hulu's fault for it is the dreaded Western production company buying a Japanese product because they think anime just sells, and then they plop it on Hulu and they go, why didn't anybody watch it? When they didn't do any promotion or any kind of fucking, or any kind of marketing for the series at all. And also, something that I agree with, I don't remember who it was. It was either Mother's Basement or Super Eye Patch Wolf. I don't remember which creator said it, so forgive me if I'm misquoting someone. But one of them, when talking about this series, they said right here. Why the fuck would you name the series? Why the fuck would you put the name of the series on Hulu as Tengoku Daimyo? I'm sorry. What normal Western audience fan is going to watch Tengoku Daimyo? They might watch Heavenly Delusion and go, oh, that sounds like a really cool like anime, like Heavenly Delusion sounds interesting. But no, they said, yeah, we're gonna actually just use the actual verbatim Japanese name, Tengoku Daimyo, which, like, you can do that. I'm not saying that you can't do that and be successful. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying, right? When you're trying to market an anime to a Western audience, specifically, you're gonna plop it on Hulu. It's like, I understand that, like, that's the actual name of the series. And that's not, but like, it's small things like that where it's like, really, no one in marketing. Demon Slayer put both titles. Yeah, you literally could have done Heavenly Delusion Tengoku Daimyakyo. You know what I mean? Jujutsu Kaisen didn't work. See, you can definitely do it. I'm not saying you can't. But the thing is Jujutsu Kaisen had a lot of hype behind it from its manga. This was a very much niche, very unknown property that had the chance to become mainstream, and they fumbled it because they marketed it so poorly. But anyway, let me get to the point of what I'm saying. So anyway, in the story, again, without spoiling anything, it's a really great mystery story. I really, really do highly recommend you watch the first season of the anime if you have Hulu. Or always support the official release. Read the manga even. Actually, well, don't read the manga, and this is why. So in the story of Heavenly Delusion, basically what it is about is the world has completely fallen apart. There was an apocalyptic event that completely shattered the world, and we follow two different timelines in the story. We follow the timeline of the two main characters, which are on the posters right here. The two main characters. We follow them through the already destroyed world and, living through the apocalypse. We follow a second timeline of characters, a bunch of kids in an academy that are shelled off from the outside world because supposedly the world has already been destroyed. However, through certain things, it's really unclear which timeline comes first in the story. It's a very mystery style story. You don't know which timeline is which. You don't know if they're occurring at the same time, if they're one's in the past, if one's in the future. Long story short, the academy of students, they are homegrown children, basically shelled off from the rest of the world and raised to be, basically they're almost like a cult, but it's not a cult. If you get what I'm saying, like they are shelled off from the outside world, and only taught what these people that are, researching them and raising them want them to learn. They're, like I said, they don't even know what the outside world looks like. They aren't taught about things like, sex. They're not taught about things like procreation, and they are basically they are meant to be like pure almost, right? But without like any kind of religious aspect to it. They're meant to be completely pure, like children. They haven't taught them about sex. They haven't taught them about any of these things. So they're basically trying to keep them away from their normal human instincts. It's unclear directly. Again, it's a mystery story, so you don't know why they're doing this. You don't know what the ultimate goal is. Supposedly, from the small bits that we get, they're trying to raise the perfect child. We don't know exactly. Either way, getting into why the manga ruined the series for me. There's a moment in the story where there is someone in the academy that is basically conspiring against what they're trying to achieve. They're basically betraying the main researchers and trying to give the kids agency and give the kids free will. They're trying to basically, quote unquote, corrupt the kids by teaching them about the outside world and teaching them things that they have been shelled off for. And one of the things and one of the ways that gets done is they learn everything through like little iPads and little tablets. They literally have like a robot that teaches them all of their information. And in the little tablet, one of the kids in the academy, the tablet gets hacked and it actually shows the kid footage of one of the other students showering. Now these are all, of course, children, so that's, in the grand scheme of things, that's fucked up. But in the context of the story, that works. And I can suspend my disgust of that being a plot point because I understand what's going on in the story, right? They're trying to corrupt these kids. They're trying to show these kids what it's like to be normal humans. So that kid throughout the rest of the timeline is he basically almost like falls in love with the girl that he spies on. And basically, even though he can't describe what he's feeling, he doesn't understand that he likes this girl. He doesn't understand what sexual attraction is. He doesn't understand what attraction is. He was never, it's almost like Denji, right? Where like Denji was shelled off and they only have the most childlike understanding of it. So in the grand scheme of the story, I think the plot point works. If you think that makes me weird, that's fine. Again, as someone that doesn't go for like Mushoku Tensei and shit like that, like I think if you can make stuff like that in the context of the story work, I'm completely okay with that. Makes sense. And also in the anime, they don't show, everything is like completely covered, right? Everything, you don't actually see, nothing is like, you know what I mean? It's like censored. Yes, it's a little whack, but yeah, it's one of those story points where it's a very mature, you have to be very mature about it, right? You have to be very much, if you're going to do it, you have to be very mature about that topic because it is a very touchy, very touchy subject. In the anime, I think they handle it very well, and I think in the grand scheme of the character development of the story and what the story is trying to do and the whole what the cult is trying to keep them away from their normal base human instincts and not let these kids know what love is and what attraction is. Again, you know what I mean? Like, I understand what the author is trying to do. Now, going through that plot point in the manga, this is where it goes downhill. This is where it gets, ooh, no. So in the anime, again, I completely understand the context of everything. Move past it, and the character as a whole, you know what I mean? For the development of his character, it makes sense. In the manga, tell me why everything is the same, right? Everything is the same, except why did you have to actually draw the child? Why did you have to do that? That was so unnecessary. So, like, why did you do that? Why am I now on a list and I now have to immediately nope out of my internet browser because I'm just trying to read a manga and I am suddenly in the face of what the fuck? Why did we have to do this? Why couldn't we just do it like the anime did? How is the anime able to completely not show the child and go through the plot point? How was the anime able to accomplish this? But you, the author, felt the need that it was so important. You had to put pen to paper. And the entire time you were drawing that, you were like, yeah, this is fine. This makes sense. This is important to the story. No, it's not actually. Not anymore. Nope, it's not actually. Now it seems like it was an excuse. Now, in my opinion, it seems like it was an excuse to get away with drawing some shit. And now it completely throws the entire plot point and the story development out the fucking window. It's like, why would you do that? And it makes me feel like there was no mature aspect to the story ever. The anime just fucking polished it up and made it mature and acceptable. The anime director was like, oh, this is fucking, we can't do this. Yeah, because you shouldn't do this. Why the fuck? You could have just, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And now I can't read the manga. I can't support the manga. I can tell you that, hey, you know what? The anime production team that puts in all of that extra work and finesse and all of that time and effort into making the series and making it not what the manga is, I will support. I will support that. I will support that project. However, I refuse to read that manga. I refuse to read the manga. That's just insane to me. That is, yeah, we're talking about that moment in Heavenly Delusion. And I know there's another moment in the anime towards the end of the season that makes me go, oh, wow, you know what? How much did they sanitize this for the anime? So, you know what? I'm just done with that. I thought that was pretty disgusting. I couldn't believe that. Again, like, as someone that genuinely liked the story and was interested to see how that story was going to go and develop and everything like that just really made me question my entire life's choices as to how I ended up reading that manga, because what the fuck, man? So unnecessary to do. So many different ways that you could have done that scene, so many different ways you could have drawn that, so many different ways that you could have. And, like, you know what I mean? It's like, is that really my delicate sensibilities? Because I know there's people out there, there's Redditors out there that would be like, oh, what, you can't handle controversial content? No, that's not controversial content. This isn't, oh, fucking, this is just a fucked up, sad story and gory and dark and seinen story. Like, that's like, the author felt the need to do that, drew the entire image, still thought it was okay to do. Like, there were so many steps to where that author could have noped out of that. Again, if you really thought that plot point was important, because again, as someone that watched the anime, I think that plot point makes sense and could have been done. But why did you have to actually just you took it too far? Yeah, Made in Abyss, man. Same thing with Made in Abyss. Like, the author's poorly disguised fetish through writing. It's like, it's sad. It's fucking insane to me. Sometimes I have to wonder what mangaka are thinking behind some of these decisions. Well, the thing is they think that that's normal. I mean, you've got the author of Rurouni Kenshin. You know, it's just, the difference is the author of the mangaka of Rurouni Kenshin didn't let his obsession bleed into his work like others do, unfortunately. That's really what it comes down to. They just think it's fucking normal, and people try to act like it's normal when it's not. I won't judge people who do read that, but sometimes it does turn into the people who do read that judging those that I have personal issues with the source material. That's what I mean. Like, look, like, it's. Would I think you're weird if I would I think someone was weird for continuing to read Heavenly Delusion after that? I would say, you know what? If you're able to get past that, good for you. That's fine. If you can look past that and move on, that's fine. It's when you start aggressively defending why that needed to be here, and you start arguing where an argument didn't even need to be had, where you're like, no, this was important. You're just sensitive to that material. This was actually completely important for this child to be in this situation. Like, no. Then that's when I start looking at you weird. That's when I start going, why are you so defensive about this? Or, you know, it's the people that shout the loudest that I side eye the most, right? There was one time I'll never forget. I was talking about anime in just like a public setting, and there was someone that came up to me that was like, you like anime? And I was like, yeah. We were all talking about this. I'm not just nerding out, you know, randomly. It's like, and we're all talking about, and that person, like, unprompted, came into this conversation, was like, oh, that's all just CP, bro. All anime is CP. I'm like, well, you know, I definitely will tell you that there's questionable anime out there for sure. But you know, sometimes you got to push through the weeds, and there's really good stuff out there that doesn't support that stuff. And he was like, nah, bro, that's all of it. All of it, bro. I could never watch that stuff. All of it's bad. I would never watch any of that stuff whatsoever, dude. The fact that you're able to handle that is fine. And, like, in my head, right, I'm sitting here like, that's a really brave take you're making really brave take you're standing up for that no one ever asked you that opinion. No one asked you to you know what I mean, to shout from the rooftops how much you denounce, CP and stuff like that. That is a pretty it should be a pretty obvious thing, right? Like it's and why I say it's brave is because it's like everyone in this conversation here probably feels that way, right? That should be a very normal thing. It's when it's when you feel the need to let everyone know that you are so, and it's like I think of Michael Scott from The Office. If any of you guys have watched The Office, and it's the episode where they all get drug tested, and Michael's idea to not get drug tested is he's like, I'm going to act so anti-drug, and I'm going to appear to everyone that I hate drugs so much that there won't even be a need to test me because everyone knows that I am anti-drug, even though he's going to fail the drug test for smoking pot. And that's what I think of all the time when people like start coming out of the woodworks like that. I'm like, dude, why? Okay, thank you. We all feel we all feel that exact same way. Like, I don't think anyone in this conversation about anime is in support of what you are denouncing right now. So it sounds like you are kind of trying to make us feel like you don't do something that you do. Rurouni Kenshin situation is way weird because the manga's themes are a complete opposite of what the author did IRL. That's crazy. I haven't been through I haven't read Rurouni Kenshin, but funny. Just watched that episode a few days ago. I love The Office. What's understood doesn't need to be said. Exactly. Thank you. That should be very obvious. Exactly. It makes me side eye you more that you feel the need to appear so anti whatever that it makes me think like you are either trying to lie to me or you are trying to repress something very deep and very dark. One of the two. One of the two. And then funny enough, I had someone that when I used to work at Best, I'll get to the reading because it looks like Kagurabachi won the poll. I'll get to the poll. Sorry to yap for so long. I had someone that worked with me at Best Buy when I worked back in the day, that said the same thing once. That was so super anti anime and they could never watch anything anime. And then I forget what it is, but they were like, but I really do like that one. I do really like that one anime. It was like, Don't Mess With Me, Nagatoro or something like that. And I was like, that's really weird for you to take this like anti, like all anime is CP like stance and then tell me that this is the anime that you're okay with and you fuck with. I said, huh? I said, hold on, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense to me. What? And their reasoning was that like they feel like this is very wholesome. No, again, this is not me being like, don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro is like, you know what I mean? This is not me saying that that's what this is. But I just thought like of all these series, I know, brother. I know you are. I just want to make it very clear. Like of all the series, it was just blew my mind that like this was the one that you were like, yeah, this one though, I'm cool with this one. I was like, what? It's just so funny to me. He was like, oh, it's so wholesome. It makes me, like, because he was like having a moment where he was just feeling, lonely. But he was like, I love this show. It makes me miss my ex-girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, you're one, that whole first rant was crazy. Two, you are torturing yourself, my guy. You are torturing yourself. Why are you watching these anime that are making you miserable? First of all, watch some fucking that's what I mean. Watch some Jujutsu Kaisen or some shit. Watch some shit that's gonna make you feel fucking hype. Why are you watching anime that make you feel? It's such a crazy situation in general. Such a crazy situation in general. Good morning, Thriller. Let's get into some fucking manga, dude. Introduce that man to AOT? Honestly, no, Jesse. You know what? Because That's the type of person that will come out of AOT as a full-on Jaegerist. And you know what? AOT is not what he needs right now. He does, yeah. Introduce him to a therapist. Yeah, go to therapy first before we read Attack on Titan. We don't need more. We don't need more blind Jaegerists to the cause. More Aaron did nothing wrong. We don't need more of those kinds of people out in the world. Okay, there's enough of them out there. There's already enough. There's already too many. We don't need IRL flock. Exactly. We've got enough IRL flocks. We have too many of them, honestly, in my opinion, especially in this day and age. But that's neither here nor there. Thank you all so much for listening to my Yap session. Just know I do appreciate you guys more than anything in the world. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. We are going to get into Kagurabachi. So if you are not up to date on Kagurabachi, please, this is your chance. This is your spoiler warning. Music's a little loud. You're right. Sorry. Left my desktop audio on. I need to configure this audio fucking shiznit. I did just change around the setup a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed, I did change the setup a little bit. See here, I'm yapping still. I put my thing back up and I changed the background a little bit to make it a little bit more digestible. It's not as fucking crazy now. Now it's not. It doesn't seem so ADHD nightmare fueled anymore, where it's fucking just crazy. I took down the Naruto and the Persona flags too, because I felt like they were just ugly as hell. Less is more. Less is more. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm still fucking yapping, but I got this cool ass fucking Gojo figure. All the people that say that I hate Gojo, I guess this doesn't help the fact I got this cool, the limited edition Funko Pop. I thought that was cool as hell. I was like, oh, is that Gojo getting sealed by Prison Realm? I'm about it. Why can't I figure out how to correctly put this? Yeah, here we go. I thought that was pretty sick. Put it in the box. What's in the box? Nah, it's okay. It's limited. I took it right. I threw the box out. I don't have the box anymore. I'm I don't take care of my shit like that. I would not be if going in the realm of Gaki Akuta, I would not be a giver, bro. I would not be a giver at all. I don't take care of my shit well enough at all for that. But I got that. I also got Hi My Babe. I also got Suguna and Shoso. Too. They came out pretty cool. Sukuna with the fire arrow was sick. These are new. They came out recently, I'm pretty sure. I saw these at the bookstore. So I got these. And you know what, Jesse, I'm fucking mad at myself because I literally, as me and Amanda were pulling away from the bookstore, I was like, fuck, I was supposed to buy the fucking Chainsaw Man novel. I completely forgot to look. So I'll get it next time we go. I literally thought of you and the novel the moment I was like, as we were like out of like the plaza. I was like, fuck, I forgot. I got sidetracked by the Funko Pops. They were cool. They were cool looking. Yo, I almost left. You guys gotta be proud of me. I almost left with like 10 of them, and I only bought some of them. I had to hold myself. That's adulting. That is growth. My shirt is wrinkly as hell right now. No one judge me. I just pulled it out of the dryer. Okay. Going to Anime Expo in July. Where is Anime Expo? Hold on. I don't know where Anime Expo is. If I would honestly be down to go. Anime Expo in July. In LA. Oh wow, is it already time for Anime Expo already? God fucking damn it. I'm surprised I didn't realize what you were talking about. Fuck. You know what? Honestly, no. Definitely not. Definitely not. That's for sure. I don't have the Kagurabachi volumes. No, I don't, unfortunately. I don't. So I have a policy. I don't buy series until they are completely done. I just have a policy where I don't, just because sometimes they come out with box sets and they come out with deals for everything. I hate buying one by one and then they're like, here's a box set for that could have saved you $200 fucking dollars. So yeah. I still don't even have all of JJK because it's not all out in the United States yet. So once they release like a big all around JJK box set, I will buy all of that. But I strictly don't buy series until they're done. JJK would go off with a complete set with a shrine box. That's what I mean. JJK is way too big to not get a box set. They're 100% releasing a JJK box set without a doubt. It literally won like top anime of the year for the Guinness World Record. It's 100% getting a box set when it's all done. I'm surprised Japan hasn't released a box set already. They're probably waiting for the anime, most likely. I don't really read manhwas or webtoons, unfortunately. I did read Solo Leveling, but that was like, you know, an outlier. Probably waiting for our soul asses to get all the volumes, probably. Yeah, maybe to do like a global release. Solo Leveling kind of trash though. I love Solo Leveling, bro. Solo Leveling deserves to be loved. I don't know, man. We talked about this. We talked about this yesterday. Killing Stalking. I've heard about that before. I know there's really good manhwa and webtoons that I just miss out on. I know there is. I know there is for a fact. Just got the Tokyo Ghoul Rebox set. Oh, they had that at the bookstore. They had that at the bookstore when I was just there. It looked fire. I still have, we do have Tokyo Ghoul Re for members on Wednesday. And we have to finish 24th Ward Raid, and then I'll be done with it. And honestly, yeah, I think Tokyo Ghoul is going to be up there for me. Tokyo Ghoul Re really changed my entire opinion of the series as a whole. The art and production value for Solo Leveling is pretty good, I admit. And also, not for nothing, you got to admit that boy Sung Jin-woo got fucking aura, bro. That's all he needs. Need to read OG Dragon Ball, bro. Ah, man, you know what? I know I need to read OG Dragon Ball one day. It's just one of those things, man. I'll get there eventually. I'll get there eventually. Honestly, I loved Solo Leveling just because I loved watching Sung fucking beat the shit out of people. My man just got aura. That's really what it is. I just love the aura farming. Sometimes it's just fun to watch someone fucking aura farm that shit. Man, hey, listen, you know what? We're gonna do, when we finish Tokyo Ghoul Re, you know, there's an opportunity we might read Dragon Ball, you know? Put your vote in. I haven't read The Climber, no. Reading everything but One Piece, there's no way in hell I'm reading One Piece ever in life. I'm sorry. You know what? If I was to ever do anything, Jesse, I would watch the anime, to be completely honest with you. I'd probably watch the anime. Even though that'd probably be 10 times worse and longer. My plan is on Wednesdays to start doing secret Twitch streams, and we'll just react to stuff. I want to finish Devil May Cry on Wednesday on Twitch. And then we can just start watching shows on Wednesdays on Twitch. And I think maybe we can make One Piece a show that we watch. Not anytime soon, but yeah, some hot tub streams, baby. All right, let's get into Kagurabachi, guys. If you have not read Kagurabachi, this is your chance to dip out. This is Kagurabachi spoilers. We are going to read Kagurabachi. I have heard about Tower of God. I tried to get into Tower of God, and I fell off the first couple of chapters just because the manhwa art was a little wonky. But I would be willing to give it another shot. I think I ended up reading Mashal instead of Tower of God. I think I ended up reading Mashal instead. And also the Tower of God anime keeps dropping the ball. I'm sure Tower of God gets better over time. It's just the first couple of chapters. It looked like I was reading. Looked like I was watching reading a preschooler's webtoon. No offense to the artist. It takes a lot of work to make a series like that. I'm not saying it just wasn't my type of art. But all right, we're getting off topic. We got to start reading. Got to start reading. We've got Kagurabachi coming up, guys. Support the official release. This is not a replacement for the manga. This is not a replacement. Please go if you want to read along. You have to go support the official release. Either read through Manga Plus, read through Viz Media. Most importantly, buy the officials. Buy the physical copies. Let's get into it, guys. Chapter 82 of Kagurabachi. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all so much. Hit that like button if you have not already. All right, let's do this. No, all right, we're cutting right back to because it's Toby Moon, Entin versus Toby Moon, huh? Let's see it. Let's cut right back to Chihiro and fucking Samura. All this time I wanted to believe it, but I couldn't be sure. That was close. The Kumayori. Where's Hirohiko? He retreated. He's still... Oh, did he throw Kumayori to fucking the Masumi? Huh. Interesting. He retreated. He's still contracted to the blade. The sheath fell. It should be 2 floors down. Mr. Somura has advanced even further in the past 18 years. In that battle just now, I sensed that his revival sorcery was an intentional exercise. Why did he hone the ability to kill someone and revive them? To that end, you're willing to let all the sword bearers die? It's necessary to completely stop the malediction. Yep, and we saw Aruha last chapter, so big time. His only motive is to stop the malediction. He bears no malice towards the sword bearers. Mr. Aruha is alive, isn't he? Malediction is the true realm of the Shinichi. It has claimed countless lives. The only way to make sure it never happens again is to execute the Sword Master. But if the Sword Master dies, the eternal contracts dictate that all the other bearers will die as well. They refrained from killing the Sword Master to spare our lives. They sealed the Shinichi to minimize the risk of another malediction. Minimize. Even still, he had to constantly live with the guilt that the malediction would strike again. I'm going to kill all the bearers. I thought my time was finally up. But he allowed me to live just a little bit longer. That's why I can't throw away that gift. Don't worry. The only one about to die is the hero version of you. Well, it's all just about our egos. The only thing left is to fight to the death. Don't tell me. Do you intend to shoulder it alone? Yeah. From what they tell me, at one point, I was clearly dead. My eternal contract had severed. So that was his goal. He came back to life. It's a miracle. Like a phoenix. No, exactly. It was Suzaku. Did he implant the flames of mercy into my body so that it would activate after my death? I get it in principle. Sorcery activated by a person's death isn't unheard of. But revival? Clearly, he didn't have that power 18 years ago. I don't know how he did it, but Mr. Somura cultivated that ability to release the sword bearers from our eternal contracts. I have not read Centuria, but I think I might soon. I've been seeing that gain a little bit more traction as a series as well. But there are limitations to this kind of sorcery. Even with the spell implanted, if the sorcerer dies, this spell dies too. Oh. So it wouldn't work if he implanted it in himself. Oh, wow. Yeah, Somura is... Damn. Somura is not going to be able to sever himself from the contract. Once he dies, he can't revive himself afterwards. So it can only heal, it can't resurrect. At least himself. He can resurrect others, but not himself. That's the purest proof that Somura's true realm involves he himself bearing all of the guilt. Just like he did all the way back when he didn't want to take his daughter. He's the only one. Nobody else has to join me. In other words, this tactic of severing only the eternal contract couldn't be applied to Mr. Somura himself. He must know that. He intends to die alone. He intends to do away with the eternal contracts, the Swordmaster, the risk of another malediction. All of it. Alone. I've been chasing after you all of this time. Only I pursued you relentlessly. Only I alone. I can't move. Damn, he fucking idolized Somura and fucking followed him down the path of the EI White Purity style too. Huh. With your eternal contract broken, your whole nervous system's trying to regenerate after being distorted for 18 years. It's probably taking a few days. Then who's gonna stop Somura? I hear Chihiro Rokuhira joined the counter Somura force. Don't report me to the higher-ups. There's no harm in having a secret ace up our sleeves. You're supposed to be dead. I lost. At least let me protect this place while they're away. I have faith in them. Somura. So what if Uruha's alive? Do you intend to die alone? More than anything, the possibility that the malediction and the power of the enchanted blades will wreak havoc in the future is my greatest fear. I know you feel the same. You don't need to stop me. I'll kill the Swordmaster. Yes, I feel the same. But we're enemies nonetheless. Even in your darkest despair, you want to save other people's lives. You fought tirelessly for that. I'm the same. I'm willing to fight tirelessly to save your life. That won't stop the malediction. We'll find another way. I'll fight alongside you. Impossible. Damn, he fucking slipped behind the door, shut the door. What is about to fucking happen, bro? Damn, Somura's been stealing Chihiro's aura fucking quota, bro. Somura is the one that's been hitting these fucking poses every chapter, not Chihiro. This is wild, dog. The White Purity style entails building up spirit energy to generate explosive force. He prepares to take Chihiro out in a single blow, a blow imbued with the flames of Suzaku. Right, Last time we faced off, I couldn't even slow him down. Nothing I say now will be convincing. I have to charge this with everything I've got. Oh shit, man. Chihiro's got his own quota to fill, baby. Through the door, he's determined not to let me read his stance until the final minute. If I move, he locates me by sound. I'll stand my ground. Damn, all Chihiro did was swallow, and that fucking tipped Somura off to strike, bro. That's insane. Damn, before he could even move. I don't care if I go to hell. Oh no, that was just the fucking wind of his fucking strike going forward. Holy shit. I'll show you here and now. Damn. Damn. Fucking rocketed out of the hotel and everything. Damn, the music is so fitting, I feel like, too, for this part right now. That was a solid chapter. Hokuzono just keeps being a solid as fuck artist. Too true, bro. That was peak fiction right there. Excuse me. Somura has just been bearing the fucking burden all himself and is ready to fucking do whatever he has to continue bearing it himself. Somura, that's not how leadership works, bro. You have to delegate, bro. You have to delegate. This chapter was for people who somehow didn't understand Somura's plans. Bro, honestly, the sad part is by reading things like Jujutsu no Kaisen and reading other fan fiction manga of stories that people have complained about the endings, unfortunately, that is the case. That is the case. A lot people need shit spelled out for them, unfortunately. Subtlety is dead in this day and age when it comes to media. You have to go outright and tell people shit. I mean, it's the same reason that fucking, you know, all these fucking new live action shows, you can't have any mystery, you can't have any build up. You have to, because if you have any mystery or build up, or you leave people to ask questions, then you make them look up from their Candy Crush. If you make someone look up from their Candy Crush, they might start asking questions about the content they're reading. You can't have that. It has to be just digestible enough that you can digest the content from a second screen. Yeah, Attack on Titan is the perfect explanation of that. Literally, Eren and Armin literally had to spell out the point of their dialogue in the anime, and people still didn't get it. But as per usual, y'all, we are going to go into summary mode of Kagurabachi's chapter. So I may miss any kind of donations. I may miss any kind of chat. So I will get to you as soon as I can. I promise. Know that I love you. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And I'm gonna go ahead and try and summarize the series as best as I possibly can. I'm wondering if I should just do the summary full screen at this point. Not like you guys can see the fucking... Not like you guys can see the chapter. Anyway. Either way, let's try it this way. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We'll see how the people like it this way. Alrighty. Alrighty. Full screen works better? Cool. Damn, this was a crazy chapter. I'm excited to I'm just kind of pulling my thoughts together here. This was a big one. Alrighty. Thank you all so much for being in stream, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Let's get into this review. If there wasn't any doubt before that Somura was one of the most tragic characters in Kagurabachi, this chapter solidifies that entirely. Because not only do we get the saddest information when it comes to the ability of Suzaku, the revival and healing ability that is part of Tobimune, Somura's enchanted blade, but we also realize just how much Somura's PTSD, his guilt-ridden personality, has bled into his own enchanted blade's true realm entirely. Because we get the pure confirmation in this chapter here. Not only has it always been Somura's plan to kill and revive all of his enchanted blade allies to free them from their enchanted blade contracts, which is important because Somura wants to stop the malediction. If the malediction is going to happen again, the very fact that the Sword Saint and the Shinichi are alive, it is always a possibility that can occur. The only chance they ever had was minimizing the ability of it to happen, because with all of the blade wielders being tied to the Sword Saint, if the Sword Saint dies, they all die. And that is the sole reason the Shinichi and the Sword Saint were even kept alive in the first place. Somura having to constantly live with all of this guilt and bear this burden on himself. We saw how this affected him in his backstory with Iori, his daughter. How he wasn't even able to live with his wife and his daughter because he felt so guilty and had so much blood on his hands. He could not rise to the occasion and look past that PTSD to be there for his family. And in this instance, while Somura has always been someone that has cared for other people, we see this, immediately revealing itself in the Suzaku ability of Tobimune in general. Now that Somura has developed Suzaku further after the Seitei War, Suzaku was developed and grown and turned into a new ability entirely just for this one purpose of Somura being able to quote-unquote kill all of his enchanted blade allies, free them from their contract with their swords, and that way when Somura kills the Sword Saint, he is the only one that needs to die. Because the sad, honest truth of the matter is, no matter how much Tobimune has grown, Suzaku cannot share this immortality, this level of resurrection where a person dies and then heals them afterwards to himself. Because we get confirmation here using the example of Hatshaku and the seeds that he implants in others. Once the original spirit energy user dies, that sorcery ceases to exist. So if Somura ever once loses life, Suzaku cancels out, even if he leaves the flames inside of him afterwards. So while he's able to save people like Chihiro, while he's able to save people like Oruha, at the end of the day, after all of this, Somura is the only one that can't be healed. Somura is the only one that can't resurrect. So Somura knows this. And when he spoke to Oruha in that last clash, that last and final moment before he took Aruha's life, when Somura says nobody else has to join him, he's the only one that has to walk this dark path. It's not that he meant he's the only one that has to bear this evil, dark burden of killing everyone he knew and loved. He's the only one that has to die in this situation. I mean, besides the Sword Saint. Maybe he even frees the Sword Saint who knows what Somura plans to do with the Sword Saint, whether he's just going to kill him or free him from the Shinichi's contract. But Somura, with this revelation, is, again, the most tragic character in all of Kagurabachi. Because no matter how noble, how great, and, how, amazing Somura might be in the grand scheme of things for being willing to make executive decisions and take on all of these, burdens and guilt himself, similar to, the Shadow Kage, if you're familiar with Naruto. The sad part of the matter is Somura is doing what he has always done and is taking and is making decisions for other people, which is why Chihiro refuses to let Somura do what he needs to do. Somura even says this before he tries to quote-unquote kill Chihiro again. He says, my goal is to stop the malediction. My goal is to stop the Sword Saint, and I'm willing to do anything that I can to make sure the malediction does not happen. If you feel the exact same way and you understand why I need to do this, just let me do this. You don't even have to participate. You can move on, and I will do this. However, Chihiro refuses to let this happen, not because Somura is inherently evil or he still views Somura as a traitor, but not only does he know Iori will be upset if her father walks this path and dies, but he refuses to let Somura make this sacrifice alone. As someone who is an avenger, as someone who has dedicated his life to getting revenge for the death of Kunishige, his father, he relates and understands more than anyone what it feels to have a burden placed on you that you feel like you cannot get rid of. Chihiro knows how Somura is feeling, but it's because Chihiro knows how Somura is feeling that he refuses to let Somura walk this path alone. They can find another way. It doesn't have to be black and white. This doesn't have to be the only path that can be walked. What if they work together and find another option to stop the malediction? And sure, Somura is resolved in the path that he's taking. Somura, as Chihiro mentions earlier, he's so determined that he's not going to listen to any reason. Chihiro tried to talk to Somura before. Chihiro was in a much more emotional state and was unable to make sense and reason in that point, but still, it's not going to take just a discussion to get Somura out of this path, which is why Somura and Chihiro begin their battle in this chapter, Enten vs. Tobimune. And in one of the coolest, most aura quota filling moments of this chapter, we get to see just how far in advance Somura is in the EI White Purity style compared to Chihiro. Because, sure, Chihiro has now mastered the swordsmanship and is able to use it on a better level than Hirohiko. But when it comes to a true master like Somura, before Chihiro is even able to gulp and swallow, Somura picks up on that subtle weakness, and just the force of Somura rushing forward is enough to carry all of the furniture, chairs, and everything up into the air, push all of Chihiro's body, hair, and just weight backwards before Somura fucking rips through the air, grabs into Chihiro, and just they clash blades. Somura is only fighting with the sheath, by the way, not even really using the blade of his sword at this point. And still, he space rockets Chihiro out of the Bloodshot Hotel and into the sky as all of these black feathers trail behind Somura here. I don't know how this battle is going to go, to be completely honest with you. Chihiro is in no way, shape, or form able to handle someone like Somura. Somura doesn't intend to kill Chihiro, despite that he's telling Chihiro that, I'm going to kill you the second time, you're done, even though we see his internal monologue where he's just hoping to just kill and revive Chihiro again. And we also do get a small little flashback of how Iruha has been following Somura as well, and not only idolizing Kunishige, but idolizing Somura to the point that he has tried to follow in Somura's footsteps as someone that has pursued Somura and pursued his level of power, following him down the EI White Purity style swordsmanship path. Iruha knows that, just like Chihiro does, he has to stop Somura from bearing this burden alone. And I don't know if the other enchanted blade wielders will feel the exact same way. But if Iruha is any showing of how the allies that have fought on the Seitei War are going to feel, if Iruha and Chihiro are more than willing to help Somura accomplish this goal, what are the other sword bearers going to feel, and how are they going to handle what happens with the Sword Saint? Listen, I'm loving Kagurabachi lately. This entire arc, or at least the second half of the Sword Bearer assassination arc, has been nothing but fun. The very fact that both sides of the story, both Chihiro's side and Hikori's side, have nothing but hype moments happening in them. Iruha fights in the Kamunabi headquarters as their secret weapon, while Chihiro does his best to try and convince Somura to walk a different path. Iori is still present in the Bloodshot Hotel, so maybe she'll factor into the fight in some way. Somura throwing the Masumi, the Kumayori, is interesting, trusting them with the Enchanted Blade instead of taking the Enchanted Blade himself. While it also shows that Somura is not an evil guy and does still, you know, have a bond with the Masumi despite betraying them, I'm wondering why he was willing to let them hold on to the Kumayori's blade and where the sheath was, even knowing that Hirohiko is still contracted with it. We know that enchanted blade wielders can sense and find where their enchanted blades are. Chihiro was able to use, the little, goldfish despite it being in the subspace. So I'm interested to see. That makes me feel like Hirohiko is broken now, but is going to come back. And I can't wait to also cut back to the Kamunabi headquarters, because that we also got the slight information that if Hatshaku is killed, then all of his traders, his little seed traders and explosions in the Kamunabi headquarters are also, gone. So they can't plant that seed imagery anymore. We'll have to see what comes next, guys. But all I know is I'm pumped to see what Hokuzono keeps cooking, and I will be here every single chapter every week talking about this series, so you can count on it. Subscribe to the second channel if you enjoy content like this. It helps the YouTube algorithm more than you know, and hit that like button if you don't want to miss any future videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. All right, and that is one review down, y'all. One review down. How are you guys feeling today? Are you guys doing good? What do we think of that Kagurabachi chapter? I'm not going to be able to talk about the overall chapter much, because I do want to get into Sakamoto days, because I got to walk the doggies at around 2. But by at least 2. That's kind of late for them, but I don't want to leave the stream on while I walk them, because I take them on long walks. So we're just gonna power through this shiat. But yeah, let's what do you, overall, how do we feel about this chapter, guys? If we had to rank it 1 out of 10, what would we rank it? I think that's probably the best question to ask. Chapter is pretty good. I was hoping for more Azami. I saw a picture of Azami on the subreddit, and I thought, we were gonna get an Azami backstory, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was a fan panel, or it was an old panel that I just don't remember from an older chapter. 8 out of 10. Coconut with the 8.8, bro. Are we? Damn, he had to be precise. I'm just kidding. Really quickly, obviously, before we get into the next chapter, I do want to just give a I try to stay away from the twitter.com/reddit until the day I heard they be spoiling. Sometimes they do be spoiling. It's so funny to me how the Kagurabachi community came at me for just kidding about leaks and just making a joke, and then dropping that fake Chihiro fucking artwork that I did. And then now they're all, and then literally once chapter 58 hit and something hype in the series hit that people didn't want to wait to read on Sunday for, now the whole Kagurabachi community is leak central. The subreddit does leaks every week. The Discord does leaks every week. And I'm like, that's crazy how fast y'all switched up. I thought Kagurabachi was a series we didn't want to ruin with leaks, guys. That's how we ruined JJK. We're a better series than that. We support Hokazono. We're a better, and then literally the moment something hype happens that no one wanted to wait for, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, I also, you know what? It's a constant struggle and I know this is my fault because I talk about fucking shonen manga that's made for teenagers. That's my fault as a 28-year-old. Like, not for nothing, like, I know you motherfuckers just gonna be switching up in like a month or two. I just know how you move. Ain't no way a series like this was gonna stay leak free. It's just stop. It's just not gonna happen. You motherfuckers are gonna be switching up immediately. All you motherfuckers that are coming at me are the same people that are going to be pushing for the leaks in not even 2 weeks. Like, I understand, bro. I see it. I've been through it. Like, it's not, it's just not like, it's crazy. They always had leaks, but they weren't posted on X, only Discord. They've been that way since chapter 10 or so. Right. 100%. I completely agree with that. But now but the thing is before it was like no leaks at all, but then now the subreddit posts the leak threads. And you also have people that do it on X. They're just not as big as Miyamura was for JJK. So, like I said, I'm not saying that it's anywhere near the same problem as Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just funny, interesting stuff. You know, funny, interesting stuff. But yeah, really quickly before we move into Sakamoto days as well, I do want to just give a quick little shout out to the stream sponsor, GamerSupps. You guys know the drill at this point. 10% off your GamerSupps order if you use my code NOOPERATOR. I'm literally off of some GamerSupps right now. It is an awesome ultimate energy drink and supplement. You get vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin C, all that good stuff in the GamerSupps. I'm telling you, as someone that gets tired fucking at 3 p.m. all the time after a long day's work, it's nice to have a little bit of GamerSupps throughout the day. They have caffeine free. It is delicious. And again, you got a bunch of vitamins. So if you're not all about energy drinks, there's no sugar in it. So you're not going to crash. It's not like, you know, different energy drinks where you drink it and you feel like crap afterwards. It is a really good drink, and it's all just healthy, good for you. There's stuff for your eye health. There's antioxidants in it. The nootropics are good to keep you focused. And yeah, you can even get caffeine free if you're not a big caffeine guy. And you still get all of the vitamins and all of that good stuff. Like I said, as someone that's not really good at energy drinks, I love GamerSupps. It's really good. They got a bunch of really good flavors. They got that Stone Ocean fruit flavor. Absolutely delicious. If you're a JoJo's fan, you got to try that Stone Ocean fruit flavor. They do have a Jujutsu Kaisen flavor. I'm just not sure if it's always available. You got to check that. The Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Energy flavor was delicious when it was out. I also like BBL GG and JFJ Snake Oil are both really good flavors if you don't know what to pick, because sometimes there's just a lot of flavors. So yeah, definitely check it out. Use my code for 10% off your order. And again, sincerely, seriously, if you don't know what it tastes like and you're like, no op, I haven't even tried that, I'm not spending $40 on a tub of stuff I've never tried before, they will send you free samples. Use my code for the free samples. They will send you free samples. They will literally give you, I think, like 3-4 packets of different flavors to try, and they'll ship it to you. So it's worth it, even if, again, you don't want to spend the money or you're worried you might not like it. Go to the website gamersupps.gg/noop. Use my code noop anyway, and you'll be able to get the free samples. So sincerely, even if you don't want to spend money and you just want to do that, /noop. I'm putting the code in. I'm putting the link in chat. There you go. There's the link. Yeah. Every single purchase, whether it is an order or even the free samples, goes and helps and supports the channel. So again, it really, thank you so much, GamerSupps, for the partnership. They're a great brand. They're a great company. And again, as someone that's been drinking GamerSupps since we were even in the last apartment for the last 2 years or so, maybe 3, I'm more than happy to, you know, support them and literally promote them in every kind of content that I do. So seriously, go get yourself some free samples. If you don't believe me, I really enjoy it. Go get some free samples. Just take a look at the website, get some free samples. You got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. All right. Let's get into Sakamoto days, y'all. So as per usual, if you have not if you're not caught up to Sakamoto days, if you don't want to be spoiled on Sakamoto days, this is your direct chance to dip out. Your direct chance to leave, because we are going to be getting into Sakamoto days chapter 216. So this is your chance if you don't want to be spoiled on Sakamoto days. Don't get spoiled. Why is my snake oiled? I don't know, but JFJ snake oil, it's apple cider flavored and it's delicious. I was worried that it wasn't gonna be good, and it became one of my favorite flavors. It's so good. Apple cider flavored. It is delicious. JFJ snake oil is one of my favorite fucking flavors, dog. Yes, coconut, I'm telling you, dude. They got everything. GamerSupps got everything. They have a flavor for everything. You can even just, I guarantee you, just take a moment and just go through all the different flavors and see what they got. You'll find something that speaks to you. They have so many different, it seems overwhelming with how many flavors they have, but I'm telling you, there's a reason why, because they have something for everybody. And again, just do the free samples. Not telling you specifically, coconut. I know, I love you. I'm not telling you to do it specifically. You don't have to listen to me. But I'm just saying, yeah, if anyone's on the fence, seriously, just try the free samples, genuinely. It literally, it's no skin off your back. Use my code anyway. Use my code anyway. But yeah, seriously, guys, hit that like button if you have not already. We're going to get into the Sakamoto days reaction. Again, this is your chance. If you don't want to be spoiled on Sakamoto days, is your chance. I haven't checked out Windbreaker yet, but it is definitely, it's on my list. Windbreaker is moved up on my list a lot. So it is up there. I definitely need to do Windbreaker, but right now I want to finish Gaki Akuta, and then I don't have any plans for what I go for next, but Windbreaker is on the list for sure. Let's do this shit. Leroy Jenkins. All right, Sakamoto Days chapter 216, Tunnel. As always, this is not a market substitute. Please go support the official release. This content is strictly for my reaction, review, and my commentary. That is why I have the Somura images over the chapter, so you cannot substitute this as a market substitute and read the chapter on my stream. That's not what this is for. You can read along as much as you want with your own official release on the Manga Plus website, the Viz Media website, or support the official release. That's the best way to do it, is to buy the physical copies. But anyway, yes, this is not a market substitute. Go support the official release. Coconut said it earlier, and it's so true, and I think that's really important. That's why I start the streams at 11:30, so that way you guys have more than enough time to support the official release and read it on your own. I'm not trying to substitute. But let's get fucking into it. Let's see how Shin survives this decapitation. This page alone is wild. So let's see how this happens. Wow. You know what? You know what? Honestly, of all characters to save him, it kind of makes the most sense. It kind of makes the most sense. Yeah, it's that's bullshit, but you know what? It's her character. That's her whole character. I'll be honest with you, I saw the first top of this panel with like the coat with the fur and the rings. I was like, Crollo? Was my first impression. I said, you hop series to save my boy? Atari? I'm glad I made it in time. What are you doing here? Wait, more importantly, he totally slashed me just then. How am I still alive? The tunnel effect. It's a phenomenon in which a particle can penetrate a barrier greater than its own energy, even though the odds are infinitesimal. In other words, the particles in your body and the particles of his sword miraculously manage to not collide. Oh my god, bro. What? He literally cut through his neck and it just didn't cut him? That's crazy. I mean, of all characters to pair that with, I guess Takamura makes sense, because Takamura is the character that even without Atari's luck was able to literally reattach his fucking arm because the cells that he cut were still alive. Yeah, meanwhile Zuki's just mumbling to himself, the tapioca, you know? An object passing through another one? For real? No matter how minuscule the chances, if something is technically possible, that's where luck comes into play. But you said you only had a tiny bit of luck left, and I just used that last bit. Well, the theory that Atari was gonna use her last bit of luck on fucking Shin was true. It just didn't happen in that same arc. You okay, baby? It's okay. Soon, I promise. Soon. Which is why I'm sorry about this, Shin, but now we're left with some major bad luck. Holy, the whole order shows up? Yikes. Oh, with Gozu. Damn. All right, Kumanomi's... all right, you know what? Kumanomi's making that short hair work, bro. She's stunting it. She's still slaying. She still got that work. What's this? How come we're all at the aquarium? What kind of bizarre coincidence? I have a policy of using my free time to recharge my batteries. Aquariums are scientifically proven to relieve stress. I come here often. I just happened to see on social media that a seal pup named Splashy Maru was born. Haha. Hilarious. I'm getting tingles. It's like fate or something. I just swung by to use the bathroom. I was playing sea yarn pachinko and got the sudden hankering to smell the sea. How about you, Tanabata? No reason. I just plan on visiting an aquarium today a while back. Do I really need a special reason to visit the aquarium? I don't get it. When I get home, I'm gonna write a song about this. Nagumo? So, what's going on here? Seriously? This is like major bad luck. The situation's already dire. There's clearly no escape. What now? What does it matter? We already decided to kill these guys on sight. Well, how do we get out of this one? Just throwing the giant fucking whale, bro. This is why Kumanomi is one of my favorite characters, bro. She said it's on sight. She's always looking for the smoke, bro. You're looking spry, kid. The fucking sand blaster, dude. Shin! Kill me, please! What the fuck? You're caught in the crossfires of my bad luck. If I die, there's a chance you might live. You saved me, so now I want to save you. That ain't my problem. I made a promise to Mr. Sakamoto that I'd protect everyone until he's back. Besides, Atari, you've got it all wrong. Huh? You gotta make your own luck to survive in this world. All right, bro's been reading. Bro finally got to that Hikari fight in Jujutsu Kaisen. Your situation was already hopeless. Even your luck has abandoned you. How do you think a worm like you has any chance of survival? Wait a sec. There is one way to get out of this. Is he gonna blow his fucking ESP load on all of the main villains right here, right now? I fucking sure hope not. That would kind of blow. That would kind of suck. I definitely think Gaku. I definitely think Gaku been dead. Yeah, I had a feeling Gaku was cooked from the beginning. Nah, 100% of his brain, just like against Tenkyu? Maybe. Feel like Kumanomi probably has the craziest strength feats now, but maybe I'm gassing it. Now, Kumanomi does be doing the craziest shit. She threw that giant fucking whale, which it was a whale mannequin, so thank God it wasn't a real whale, but she threw that giant fucking crane in the exhibition arc. All of them showing up just for him to escape is bad for real. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of one of those things where I don't know what Suzuki was cooking here with this, but hey, listen, he might be able to pull it off. He might be able to stick the landing. We haven't seen what it's coming out to be. I don't know how to feel about this chapter. I'm not really moved by it. It's all right. It's definitely an interesting. I feel like Sakamoto Days does this often, where it's like, damn, bro, you really put your whole fucking pussy into the situation instead of just letting things that develop naturally sometimes. Like, all these characters just came out of fucking nowhere, and I feel like we didn't need all of these characters to show up out of nowhere. But again, like, I'll see what Yuto Suzuki's pulling here. I'll see what he's doing. Listen, this is the same mangaka that gave us the abysmal end to the exhibition arc. That arc kind of just like ended, right? Like, that arc was kind of just over. Like, was still to this day one of the weirdest you know, ends to an arc of all time. So yeah. Sometimes you know, Yuto Suzuki is a good author sometimes. But sometimes he just does a little questionable things, like the whole order showing up. If Shin escapes, is he just top of the verse? I don't think that's much. Like, I think a lot of people also are upset that Shin was even fighting Uzuki in the first place. Like, I think Shin running away is fine here. I think Shin blowing his entire load here, and not like sure, he has the 100% of his brain, but also imagine if Shin, like, here's something that I would say maybe could turn this around here. If Shin uses his mind control on every character that's in this moment here, just to save himself and Atari, would that severely kind of, you know, fuck him for the rest of the series? Yes. But that would also, for all the people that, you know, complain about Sakamoto Days not having any stakes, here you have this character that had a one-stop shop way to not only end Uzuki's plan, but also, you know, potentially throw a lot of the order off guard to be killed. And he immediately, you know, he can only use that once. Yeah, he already used it on Torres and Tanabata. That's a good point, Nugen. I didn't think about that. So that's also a good point, but also using it on everybody else, that means he can't use that again on any of the main villains now. So again, it could go either way. I think there's ways to still salvage this. I hate, you know, going against the chapter without seeing where the story, where Suzuki plans to go with this. But yeah, questionable decision indeed. Questionable decision indeed. It's about time for someone on Team Sakamoto to wake up. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Nagumo is Tanabata being angsty here. Sure, might be his character. I'm hoping one of these characters is just Nagumo. Maybe we still have some luck left. Shin was Nagumo the whole time. Wouldn't that be crazy? Well, we already saw him use his ESP, but wouldn't that be crazy? Would that make everyone be okay with it if it was actually Nagumo this whole time we've been following, not Shin? I tricked you. Shin's been unconscious this whole time. The real Shin's been unconscious this whole time. Where is Nagumo? But all right, guys. Yeah, let's get into this review here. Let's get into this review here. Actually, 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. It's a little chilly. 1 second. 1 second here. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry, my Sadie lady. Oh my goodness, are you okay? I'm so sorry. You were right at the door. You okay? Are you okay? Let me see your paw. Hi, Harley. Hello. I know. Oh my god, I haven't been paying attention to you guys for so long. I know. I know. 1 second, okay? Can I check Sadie's paw and see if she's okay? Hi, my. Thank you for leaving me. That's okay. I'm sorry. I love you. Oh, thank you. Hi, Harley. Hello. Did you hurt yourself? No. No. Then why do you think you get attention? Huh? Just because you're so cute? Oh my God, you're so. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you. You're so nice. So. I know. Let Daddy do his thing, okay? Let Daddy finish and we can go, okay? Give Daddy like 20 minutes. Yeah. Oh, I know. You want to go now. I know. I know. Okay. What the fuck did I just do with my glasses? Hold on. Here, do you guys want to get out? So excited, and you're gonna be so upset when you see me get back in this chair. What up? Ooh, it is bright now because the light is on. Hold on. Hi, babe. All right. We're good. We have made it. Came in at the wrong time. There's never a wrong time to come in. My Sadie girl was right at the fucking door when I opened it, so the door opened and I hit her paw, but she's fucking fine. She didn't even yelp. I'm just a big baby when it comes to my dog, so I'm just making sure that she was okay. But yeah, let me get into this review here. 1 second. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Oh no. Hold on. I messed up the music. 1 second, y'all. All right. Kagura's cast strength not really being shown, like outside of the enchanted blades. I think Kagurabachi still does a pretty decent idea. Still has its pretty decent scaling when it comes to it. I'm not sure exactly. Like you mean like like Shiba and all the other sorcerers, as we really mostly just get enchanted blade battles. I think is that what you're asking? I want to see more like Azami. Yeah, I mean that's a big criticism that I have, that we don't have just more everyday normal fights going on. A lot of the jobbers just get instantly demolished. But every time I bring that up, people get very, very upset when I say that about Kagurabachi. They're like, you don't understand the story. Like, I hate getting off topic because I do have to walk my dogs and go through this and go through this review, but There was a argument that I got into or saw on Reddit, and it was like basically, long story short, like the criticism was that like it sucks that like jobbers die so soon, and it all became down to people talking shit about reading comprehension. Oh, you just don't understand that that's what these jobbers are for. You don't understand that that's their role. They're not meant to fill anything more. And it's like it's not reading comprehension. It's just a criticism, right? Like it's just, hey, I like this series, but I wish that the jobbers last a little bit longer so we could get a little bit more and see more of the power system. Oh, you just don't understand, and you would complain that blah 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 if we got that. You don't actually want that. No, I think I do know that I want that. And it's like it's sometimes it's like everyone people just start throwing out words that fucking. It's not your bad. Don't apologize, Sumo. Don't apologize, Sumo. I'm the one that's getting going on tangents. You just doing you. But yeah, it's just like people just be throwing around buzzwords like reading comprehension when they don't like what you say, and it's like that. Just me wanting the jobbers to last longer so I can see more of the power system isn't reading comprehension. That's just a criticism. But all right, let me get into this Sakamoto Days review. I might miss chat or I might miss any donations that come through, so I do apologize ahead of time. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go into this review, y'all. Thank you very much for being here. Hit that like button if you have not already. All right. What do I want to say about this chapter, man? This chapter was an interesting chapter, to say the least. This chapter is just gonna, everyone that already is mad about this arc is just gonna be more resolved after this chapter. Literally, that's literally all it is. So, what an interesting development and reason for Shin to not lose his head here after this brief encounter with Takamura Uzuki. And it's funny to me because while this, in the lore and the narrative of the series and story, makes sense as to why Shin would survive with this character Atari showing up here thanks to her luck and fortune ability, where things that just are almost impossible to happen. And also, not for nothing, of all of these attacks, for Shin to have go through him with nothing actually happening, I guess it makes even more sense that it would be Takamura. I mean, even without Atari being present, this is the character that cut off his own arm and was able to reattach it because the slice was so clean that the cells that he cut off were still alive and able to be put back together. So if there was literally any other character that would have been able to, any other character duo that would have been able to accomplish this, again, infinitesimal, opportunity to keep Shin alive, it would have been Atari and Takamura. That does not make it any less kind of ridiculous. Again, Atari, just as I said before with Uzuki, is the same character that took a big bundle of scrap and nonsense and was able to concoct a working gun loaded with bullets for Shin to use. So it's not something we haven't seen before. The problem is with a save like this coming now, when Sakamoto Days is already being under scrutiny for having low stakes, for putting Shin in a scenario that he shouldn't be in, even though personally I think the Shin versus Uzuki, Shin running away from Uzuki and not really even having a chance to get an attack in edgewise or even have a chance, it's literally just playing keep away with Uzuki. I think it was okay with how much Shin has developed and grown up until this point. But where Suzuki starts taking the story in a way that I can't even defend, because again, no matter how you feel about Atari showing up to where Shin doesn't get decapitated here, my dog's barking, sorry. No matter how you feel, oh boy. No matter how you feel about Shin surviving here, because again, very controversial, I don't blame you. It is undeniable that the entire order showing up now, and now Shin not only had to run away from Takamura Uzuki, but Shin now has to run away from Oki, Kumanomi, Gozu, Torres, and Tanabata all at what? You want to talk about upping the ante of something that a couple of people were already having issues with? You want to talk about bad luck. Now, I don't blame people for having issues with this because, again, I already know a big problem right now in the Sakamoto Days community is people feeling like there's not really any stakes in the matter. Characters have plot armor and they're not going to die. All of the characters that we know are safe, and it doesn't really add a lot of tension in moments like this. And this is one of those sad times where I actually have to agree, I can't defend it, where, again, I can push the Shin agenda all day, every day, and say that the prison arc does equate to Shin being able to play keep away with Uzuki. I know a lot of people didn't like Takamura Uzuki showing up, and that makes it even less believable that Shin was able to survive. Now you've got Atari literally letting a sword cleave through Shin's neck, which, again, I'm willing to suspend my belief for that because of the character dynamic and that are involved and at play. But now, how is Shin going to get out of this? How is Shin going to escape almost all of the Order members and villains at once? It was already tough to imagine and predict what the story was going to, how the story was going to move with Shin escaping Uzuki. Now he has to escape the entire, unless this becomes the big final battle right here where Sakamoto gets his resolve, all of the Sakamoto family, Lu, the Kindaka, Yotsumura, Heisuke, all of those people, that are unconscious wake up, come together, and this is just where the final battle happens, right? Which even then, kind of questionable, kind of an interesting decision to make, which at this point, this is still the author that gave us the ending of the exhibition arc, which wasn't even really an ending. When people say that mangaka write themselves into a corner, I think this might be one of those times. However, I might be wrong, and I hate giving criticism early because, not for nothing, Yuzo Suzuki could pull this story development into something that is an interesting way for Sakamoto Days to move. Like, one thing that I think could be very interesting to see is that even though there are some select characters in this group here that have already been touched by Shin's mental order that can only be used once, the rest of the Order members, like Oki, some of these characters have not. So Shin having to, without lack of a better, phrase, blow his load early and basically use up his one chance of curse speech, mental controlling every single main villain in the series. Even if Shin is able to escape here, Shin has lost his advantage against almost everyone, which I think for everyone that says Sakamoto Days has no stakes, here you have Shin, who just became one of the most important characters in the series, right? Shin, who was just able to completely put a halt to all of Azuki's gun plans and everything like that. Shin, who did have a mental command that could have made a lot of the strong characters completely open for a free kill shot. And now he's not able to do any of that. I think that could change the plot a little bit. I think that might take the story in interesting ways. I think while there are ways to save this story, I guess it's kind of 50-50 on whether this story beat is going to go in an interesting way or if it's just going to be an easy way Suzuki's going to have to come up with an easy way to get Shin out of the environment and then start a new arc, which is kind of what happened in the exhibition arc, unfortunately. I will say, I would also love for, within all of this major bad luck, if there was a silver lining happening, like something that could bring a lot of hype and interesting moments back to the series, is what if one of these Order members is Nagumo? Tanabata doesn't even answer Torres, and sure, he has his little angsty moment where he's talking about writing a song about it in his head, which might be exactly how he, interacts. He is a quiet character. He's always been a quiet character. He's one of the new Order members that we've had the least bit of interactions with, to be honest with you. We've seen Torres go up against Sakamoto. We've seen Oki now have his shining moment up against Kendaka and Yotsumura. Kumanomi, Gozu was just introduced, but Kumanomi's had plenty of moments to shine. Tanabata is really the only character we haven't seen much about, so him acting weird just might be average, but also, it would be nice to have Nagumo be one of these order members in disguise. Maybe Tanabata was always, you know, an inside man. I mean, obviously we've seen Nagumo and Tanabata be in the same place at the same time, so that's not necessarily possible, unfortunately. But again, I'm always going to be willing to see where Sakamoto Days is going and where Yuto Suzuki takes this story. While I'm definitely side-eyeing and questioning these decisions that are being made, the same way as I was in the exhibition arc, you know, I'm willing to, you know, forgive, ignore, and move on as long as Suzuki keeps providing fun moments in the series, which he has done plenty of times, even after the exhibition arc. I think the prison arc was great, a masterclass of Suzuki doing the best he can. So I know Suzuki is capable of great things. I just want to see more of it. And sometimes he just does things that make me question, like, it's almost like this is almost like a spiteful thing, right? How funny would it be if Yuto Suzuki saw everyone complaining about how Shin couldn't handle the situation? He said, oh, you really want to see a situation Shin can't handle? Here's every main villain right here, right now. You know, it's kind of just, it's that funny. It really is. It's that unbelievably, it's that unbelievable for that to happen that it's like, it's almost feels like it's intentional at this point. Even though I doubt Yuto Suzuki is that spiteful and I really am just talking out of my ass at this point, that's how comical this decision is to have every villain show up here just conveniently. So who knows? I don't know where this is going to go, but one thing you can definitely bet on is I will be here every week in every Sakamoto Days chapter talking about it, whether it's going great or it's going a little bit sideways. I have loved this story from the beginning and I'm not going anywhere. I'm in it for the long haul until we get to the end destination. So you can constantly count on my reviews and discussions about the series. So if that's something you want to see until the series end, make sure you don't forget to subscribe. The YouTube algorithm really enjoys that lately. And don't forget to hit the like button as well, as that lets me know you guys want to keep seeing this stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. All right, y'all. We did that. That was nice. We finished that Sakamoto Days review, all fine and good. So let's talk a little bit about the chapter before I have to get going. We'll give it like another 10 minutes or so. What do you guys think about what I'm saying? For real, literally, Sakamoto gonna come in like Goku and one shot an order member for sure? I hope not. I really hope that's not the case. I'm actually losing the plot of Sakamoto Days. Like, so many random things are happening. Yeah, it's just, it's not like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. I still have hope for the series. It's not something that's immediately turning me off because I'm just now starting to side-eye. Before, I was completely fine with everything happening. Up until this, like, Atari doing what she did was already an interesting story beat. Now you have every fucking, my girlfriend's hair is in my hair. Now you have every main villain showing up all at once just to make this even more unbelievable for Shin to get out of. Like, what's going on, bro? What the hell's going on? But again, maybe it turns into being something that's fucking awesome. Maybe it really does turn into something very fun. You know, I can't speak until the series continues. I don't like making judgments early. What up, 1MF? Sumo, what's going on? You got Discord. So we do have a Discord. It is for members only, unfortunately. And that's not because I want to take your money. That is just because it's easier to vet Discord. So that way people don't come in spamming or posting gore. It is $1 membership. You only need the $1 Jogo Gang member to join the Discord. So I try to make it as accessible as possible. Is it like a one-time payment? Yes, it is a one-time. It's a one-time membership. Yep, all you gotta do, join the channel for a member. You can join the Discord and then cancel the fucking membership. I don't police that. I don't believe in policing it. If you want to keep supporting me, month to month, that's your, prerogative, but it's only a one-time, access to the Discord, and then you don't get kicked out if you lose the membership. I don't believe in that, and I don't have the Discord set up that way. Some people do, I don't. I think that's kind of lame. I think it's definitely kind of lame. But yeah, you can join the channel for $1, and then you get instant access to the Discord. Less chance of raids, indeed. That's the big thing right there. That's the big thing right there. But yeah, y'all. I definitely think Kagurabachi was the better chapter, in my opinion. Let's put it to a poll, of course. What chapter did you think was better? Also, while I have you guys really quickly, I do want to just give a shout out to my third channel, which, yep, I know I have too many channels. I know you don't have to remind me, but I'm just gonna post just random shit here. This is literally just the shitter channel. Like the second channel, that's what the second channel was gonna be, but now we post manga reviews and stuff on the second channel constantly. So now this is just if you want some stream highlights, if you want some extra content, this is really wholeheartedly if you guys want just want extra content and you guys just enjoy stuff. Like I'll just post random stream highlights here, random, rants, blogs you might miss from the stream, post some gameplay stuff here. But yeah, this is literally just random shit. So this is literally just if you just want more no-op. Don't feel obligated to subscribe to it. I'm not going to post there. Often you could see, 2 months ago, 2 days ago. So yeah, if you miss streams like the Oregon Trail stream, which I thought was a lot of fun, you could definitely check that out. Buckshot roulette, just fun stuff pretty much. Sumo, thank you for joining the Jogo gang. I sincerely do appreciate that love and support. Thank you so much for joining the membership. It really does mean a lot. And I know you're just doing it to join the Discord, but still, thank you for the support. If you go to the membership tab, there should be an invite link to the Discord. You can get right in the Discord right away. We have Sakamoto Days chats. We have Kagurabachi chats. We have every, ongoing manga under the sun right now. Yeah, I found it. Good. Okay, cool. I know sometimes that's the hardest thing for people sometimes, just to find the link. But that being said, we are probably going to call stream in a little bit. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I genuinely do appreciate it. Another fun, amazing Shonen Sunday. Appreciate all you guys popping in, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night. You know that I'm sending you that spirit bomb energy, and I hope you've got a good rest of the day or a good tomorrow planned. Make sure you drink more water. And I think we're going to go ahead and call it for the day, guys. I'm going to go walk my doggies. Yeah. Read Gaki Akuda. And yeah, that's my one thing. Read Gaki Akuda. Good series. Good series. Everyone stay safe. Everyone have a beautiful rest of your day, night, afternoon. Stay hydrated. Everything that Coconut's saying. You know the shit. Everyone have a good rest of the day. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'll see you tomorrow on Monday night, probably 8-9 p.m. sometime around there. We're going to do the Sakuna wheel. We're going to put Sakuna up against a bunch of random, other villains from other series. So look out for that. That should be fun. And yeah, hopefully I finish Gaki Akuda on Friday and we can have a Gaki Akuda stream just going over the series. So that's why you guys need to start reading that for that stream. And then on Wednesday for members, we have the Tokyo Ghoul Re. So on Wednesday, we'll be reading some more Tokyo Ghoul Re. We'll finish 24th Ward for sure. And yeah, guys, love you all so much. Thank you for the support. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Helps the stream way more than you know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.